2, 1. Right? Are we
Back
ready?
at it like a crack addict.
Are we recording?
We're recording.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the show.
you always struggle with how to start. Welcome
to
back to
Yeah.
Beards and Beers podcast. I'm Gary.
I'm David. This is
And
Beers
together,
and Beards.
yeah,
Gary's
together,
the beard. I'm the beer. Gary's the beards. We are together. We are a podcast.
That's
Our
right.
friends. So I listen to so many podcasts, and they all have like awesome intros where they are clearly reading, and I'm like, that's so cool. I want to do that, but we don't ever do that. We're just like,
fuck it, let's go.
yeah. I remember back in the day, you used to do like we would be talking, like you wouldn't say, you would just record. I think next week we need to do that.
But we know you can see that it's recording.
Yeah, well, we should be talking.
Yeah, that's how me and Abby start. We usually just start talking. I just hit record.
Like 30 minutes in, she's like, "Wait, when are we going to start?"
Yeah, I got her saying some shit one time. She's like, we got to redo that." I was like, "All right." So,
yeah.
But yeah, this is episode 42. We just did a bourbon notes, which I don't know if it's a good idea to do bourbon notes and then the podcast back to back. I don't know.
Well, not after I drink all day. I mean, it's always a good idea.
Yeah, drinking all day is a good idea, but it's Sunday. Yeah. You're going to hear this on at least as early as Monday.
It's Monday.
We're back to work.
We just hung out with Warren Sapp. 2 Beers, 1 Sap.
So you've got into 2 Bears, 1 Cave.
Yeah, I listen to them every week now. No, I'm not that into it.
So Tom goes into this whole story about Jennifer Aniston. Have you heard that yet?
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
He says, I met Jennifer Aniston. She said, "Hey, my name's Rachel from the hit show Friends." And Tom's like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." It's like, "Do you know Chandler?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is she fucking?" Goes through this whole spiel telling Bert. Bert's like, "Oh my God, no way, no way." And then he's like, "Yeah, I just made all that up." Well, Jennifer Aniston reposted all of that on her Instagram yesterday.
Nice.
So
Bert is me. You are Tom because I laugh at my own jokes. Bert laughs at his own jokes, but also I feel like you are Bert because you wear a limited amount of clothes. Like this is the most clothes you probably wore in the last week.
It's been cold. Listen, I went out and de-iced.
It's been cold, so I wore pasties.
I went out and de-iced my car, which I had probably 2 inches of ice on my car. It came out in 5x5 sheets. I'm picking up ice, flipping it over onto the grass. I'm like, holy shit! But in a pair of shorts and a hoodie,
pair of shorts and a spaghetti strap shirt.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to see. Is me in a spaghetti strap shirt.
Your upper gets way colder than your lower.
I could, and you know this. I wear shorts 24/7, 365.
Even in the shower? Are you never nude?
Yeah, I'm nude in the shower, and occasionally I wear pants to work when I know somebody's going to be there. If it's just me, but in the listen,
if the governor will be there.
Me and Abby just talked about this, and I think you can relate to this. Since COVID has hit, I have been relegated to this house with my wife and 2 kids. You're with your wife, your 2 dogs.
2 dogs. Same thing.
There's so much good has come out of it and so much bad.
Yeah.
I'm parenting a preteen who's going to turn 13 in just a couple months, and I'm parenting a toddler who's crazy as hell. Meanwhile, I'm trying to juggle work, which when you're working from home, it's there's no set schedule. Somebody can call you 7 o'clock. "Hey, man, I need the blah, blah. Put down this bourbon and walk over to my computer." It's so weird.
I was drinking some Buffalo Trace today.
Yeah, but I don't know what normal. This time last year, right? We're just 11 days before Abby's birthday. I got her tickets to see Tyler Childers and Sturgill Simpson. We're playing.
I remember. Yeah,
we go out. It's a thing. We're with 15,000 of our closest friends.
That's how many close friends I have.
And then, literally that Wednesday, the world shuts down.
And it's funny because I remember Abby talking about that on on your podcast Close Up, and she's like, I saw somebody there with a mask, and I'm like, what are you weirdo?
Yeah.
And your wife is like
She's
she's a double masker. Maybe, I don't know. She might be.
Listen, she gets her second vaccine this week. So, and if you follow along, a good portion of the people that I know that have been vaccinated have gotten both doses, and a good portion of people that she knows that have been vaccinated have got both doses. And it's a 50-50 shot whether you walk out normal or you walk out near death. Like it's either or. Like there's no in between ground.
Oh.
So she's a little scared about that. But you had COVID, so which we weren't going to talk about it. Then you drink beer all day. Then you're like, hey, I had COVID. I was in quarantine. I was like, I didn't tell nobody. I'm glad you just outed yourself, but
outed myself.
And you got it from the toilet seat, right?
Yeah, from licking the toilet seat.
No, licking.
I mean,
you dumbass.
Well, we weren't supposed to say that part.
Oh, we're off the rails 6 minutes in. Oh, God. Real quick plug.
Sponsor plug.
Sponsor plug. Licking toilet seats. Go to getamazonmusic.com/beers and beards. David, we just did a live show for almost an hour. David's like, hold on. Change his clothes. He's like, I got free pizza from this place.
Adriatico's.
Is that what you got on Twitter?
Yes. Homage to the H. Homage right there. Homage.
H to
free
the
pizza.
Izzo.
Free pizza. Adriatico is awesome. Also, Homage is awesome. Amazing. I love them. New York style pizza. Any style pizza is delicious, as you can probably tell from how this shirt fits me. How much I love pizza.
Well, you're in a medium?
It actually is a medium. I love that they Homage made their mediums like extra large, and I fit them now. So I'm like
You're
a medium.
Into them.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give a shout out again. I know I've done it before, but Mike Tabor dropped some knowledge on how. Remember, I was talking about all the different pours they had when they went to New Riff, and they had I sent you all the pictures. Apparently, if you talk to the bartender about splitting them up between your group, it's pretty manageable.
The pours.
Yeah,
this is
if everybody's just gonna you're not gonna get drunk, but at least everybody's gonna get a taste of it.
Of a Pappy 23.
Yeah. Which if you get off your ass and get me some Blantons.
I feel like Blanton's is the sexy girl that's
unattainable.
She ain't even that hot.
It's true. Listen, I drank 2 bottles in New Hampshire. It's good. When I introduce it to people that aren't bourbon drinkers, for
a $50 bottle, it's good. But for $200 bottle, it's that ain't that good. Pappy's hey, how much do I owe you?
Yeah.
Bland's is
So I don't know. I want to get in on this underground bourbon market, and I don't even know if it's legal. So this is all hypothetical shit right now.
If it were to exist.
If it were to exist, if we got a bottle, we raffled tickets off, and whoever won the raffle gets the bottle. I don't know how that works, but if you know about that life, hit us up on Instagram or wherever.
Tell us.
But this week we're going to talk about bourbon. We're going to talk about beer. We're going to drink. David's been drinking all day, so they probably can't even taste it. But the first thing I want to get into is right there in your neck of the woods in Ohio. Listen, bourbon saves lives. Bourbon is when Prohibition hit, it was medicinal. It is a flourishing industry in my state, and now we're trying to raise funds to help downtown Miamisburg because they don't have a chamber of commerce. There. And so when I originally saw the snippet, it said MMA president and whatever his name is. I'm like, I know all the MMA presidents. I don't know who this guy is.
Fedor,
but MMA stands for Miamisburg Merchants Association.
Yeah.
So they're trying to revitalize downtowns. They've been doing loans and grants and fucking golf, which we're going to talk about in a minute too.
Yeah.
But I think the most lucrative thing, hell with a golf scramble, a bourbon raffle.
Yes.
Hey, because we're
So,
suckers for that. Like, I'm still getting emails about bourbon raffles, but they did a casino night a la The Office where they raised $12,000.
Or it wasn't even a casino. It was, what did they call it?
Monte Carlo night.
Monte Carlo night.
Yeah.
But so I have a soft spot in my heart for Miamisburg because in a normal year, it's southwest of Dayton, which is where my beautiful bride is from. But we do every year in a normal year, they have a turkey trot and you run through Miamisburg. They got a couple of breweries. The breweries are always out like, hey, come get a beer. Quit running your race. Come get a beer. I'm like,
hydrate with this great lager
IPA. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm tempted. Like one year I'm just gonna stop running and be like, yeah, I'm actually
fuck it.
These are my people.
Fuck it, let's just get drunk. Who wants to run anyway? We're all gonna die.
They have Lucky Star. Both of them are Lucky Star and Star City Brewery, and they're right next to each other.
Rack City.
But yeah, shout out to Miamisburg. It's cool to see the city like embracing bourbon as a way to make money.
Dude, if you get a good bottle of bourbon, let's just be legit. Say you had never opened your Pappy 10.
Yeah.
We get $1,000 for that right now.
I know.
And if we want to say it's for charity, we get $5,000.
It's for Bill charity.
For your bills?
Bill's charity.
Yeah. But
these like bills.
It's funny how that transcends where I come from, a place where drinking is not really it's looked down upon. Like we don't have a ton of bar, like there's no bar scene. There's restaurants that serve, like people go to the bar at a steakhouse or at a Mexican restaurant, whatever. But there's like, when we think of the bar scene where I'm from, it's like some seedy little place where the degenerates go.
Yeah.
And that's just how you think of it.
Where you go while your wife's pregnant, you're waiting for her to give birth, and you're like, oh, guess I got another one.
Yeah.
On the way.
But it's, and it's like when I was in New Hampshire, I feel like, and even in Boston, totally more acceptable to be like, oh, let's go to happy hour, or have a cocktail after work, or we're just going to go out for some drinks and an appetizer, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? But to see a city, what are you doing?
Let's put myself on mute.
Did you fart?
Yeah, I farted.
But
I was about to yawn really loudly, and I don't want to be like, oh, this podcast is so boring.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, to see a city embrace that, be like, hey, we got 17 bottles of bourbon. We're going to raise money for downtown, and we would love for you to participate. Like I've thought about getting in on it. Could you go get it for me?
If you win it, I'll get it for you. They had, what was the? I was trying to find what they had.
I don't know that they said what they had. It's just 17 bottles.
Merchants. Yeah, they had it. They had what they had. So they got 17 bottles, 4 different prizes.
4 first place prizes. Right?
Yeah. Tickets are $50 a piece, 600 tickets. First prize is 2019 Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition.
Be all right.
Elijah Craig 18-year, Michter's 10-year, and Weller's 12-year. That's solid.
That's solid. I'd give $50 for all those bottles.
Yeah. Second prize.
Do we want to revisit our friendship and you buying shit that you know I love? And I'd be like, oh, can you get me a bottle? No, man, they only sell one bottle. I can only buy one. I went back the next day. They sold it all. Sorry.
True. That's exactly what happened. I was technically still under quarantine.
Well, hey, I'll buy it off you. Well, it cost me gas money to get out there. I give it to you for $100.
I was technically still under quarantine, and I was like going out, and I was risking everyone else's lives.
So, hey, get Mike DeWine on the phone. Yeah, this guy.
Second prize, Bland's Gold.
What is Bland's Gold?
I don't know what the hell. There's a couple different blends. I think it's blends, but in a
Is it
gold
red?
bottle.
Is it a red bottle?
I think it's gold.
That would make shit, son.
Blends Gold, Stag Junior Batch 13, Weller Antique, and Colonel E.H. Taylor Straight Rye.
Holy shit! We can buy Blanton's Gold right now for $459 a bottle.
That's a steal. Third prize is Down Home Toasted Barrel Rye Barrel Select from Liquor Barn. High West. This is the mouthful of bourbon. They should call this mouthful of bourbon. Second one is High West Midwinter Nights Dram Act 8 Volume 2. Starlight Family Reserve 2020 Bourbon and Old Forester Master Taster Selection, the color red single barrel. Man, that's
a lot.
Like, hey, that's what I'm specifically looking for. Old Forester Master Taster Selection, the color red single barrel. I'm like, we just sold out.
Yeah. But if you say it 3 times fast, I might be able to go in the back and see if I got
Fourth
one.
prize is Rare Perfection, which I've never heard of. 15-year.
It's Old Crow.
Woodford Reserve Distiller Select Kentucky Kernels. Eagle Rare Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, and your favorite Blade and Bow.
I've not tried Blade and Bow, but
I thought you had it when you went there, when you went to Stitzel-Weller.
Yeah, but dude, I drank so much different bourbon when I was there.
You just drank. I drank so much that I basically didn't even try.
Like, I don't know. I don't remember what.
Where's your little notebook that you have for bourbons?
I do have that. Like, they gave you one. I don't know. They gave, so at Stitzel-Weller, they give you a tasting notebook. Like, what did you taste? Bitch, I tasted bourbon. I came here for the. This is my second tour of the day. Bourbon. Corn, sour mash.
According to Pappyland, Blade and Bow shit, but I'll be willing to try. I want to go to Stitzel-Weller.
Let's go. So if we can get this country opened up, I think me and David, we'll just we're gonna hire a cameraman, probably Aaron Garrett.
Yeah, or Matthew McCarthy.
Matthew McCarthy. Yeah, because he lives down there, so it wouldn't be that much of a trip for him. I don't know. Dude, 2021's been a trip already. Like,
I'm just along for the ride. I mean, I've been along for the ride
for 2 weeks. Like, you along for what ride? Ride from the toilet to the refrigerator?
I've been hanging. I've been enjoying it, man. I'm not gonna lie. Everything.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just been so. We talked about this on our live show, but like, I've been into documentaries and cults, and my whole frame of mind is so warped right now.
I love
haven't been to work in 2 weeks because of weather, and I got shit cults. To do.
I'd love to be a part of one someday.
That's inside jokes. Don't come at me with that shit. That's inside jokes. If you don't know what that that Michael Scott says that when he's talking about inside.
So
jokes.
If you listen to this podcast,
you got to be up on The Office.
But also, if you think that you should be the Alex Trebek we're going to do a live show.
Like 30 questions.
30 questions. It's going to be Jeopardy style.
Uh-huh. We need buzzers.
People, though.
I can
buzzers
get those. I can get those.
Buzzers. Jeopardy style.
You'll probably have to come to us. It's some location.
Yeah. Host Jeopardy Quiz Bowl style. We're gonna Gary's gonna be 6th grade Quiz Bowl of In the Know.
In the Know, baby. Listen, I'd love to take you up to my mom's house. We watch that video.
I would love to go to your mom's house.
Listen,
as long as there's s'mores,
we can make s'mores. Let me tell you about this weather. We talked about the weather. I live in the city-ish, right? You've been to my house.
You don't live in the city.
I live in the city of Mount Street. Anyway, I park on the street. Our wonderful road department did an amazing job at pushing the snow off the street. Just so happens they pushed it all up against my car, and we got ice. My car is encased in ice. I have like a $10 rubber snow shovel that did
Yeah.
nothing to that. So we
You gotta
hired some
watch.
kids
Yeah.
that came with pickaxes and like busted. Like these are like 15 and younger. Paid them like $40. They were out there just hammering away at that shit,
Hour
dude.
and a half.
Yeah,
There's
they're about
dents
an
in your
hour.
car.
But like I look out and I see all these big glaciers thrown in my yard. I'm like, oh my God. But
It's like you need like the like. Have you ever watched You Betcha?
yeah,
I watch them on Facebook. I don't know where they really
I watch
became
them on
popular,
Facebook too. Yeah.
but this guy's like, hey, here's the 3 snow shovels that you need. Like he's got like the big one, like the one, like because he lives in I think in Wisconsin because
Somewhere up there.
He goes to Fleet Farm all the time.
Yeah. What do you think about You Betcha is a like he drinks Bush Light, Bush Latte, but he does a similar to like Barstool Sports. They do the pizza review. He does a ranch review.
Yeah,
where it's like viscosity and taste and all that. And I'm not a ranch guy, but it intrigues me.
it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Why couldn't that be us? Or I mean, are we on on the path?
One sip bourbon review. I do follow One Sip Beer Review on Instagram. They've been doing. I think they're in Lexington, but they've got like a lot of content built up. They've been to Asheville, Lexington, Cincinnati. Those are the big 3.
I told you we're taking Abby to Asheville with a group of friends.
Which breweries you going to?
Probably 0 of them.
I want to see you go to a brewery. So, how long are you going to be there?
Just 2.5 days.
So, go to Burial Brewing.
Burial?
Yes. When you're there, I'll remind you. I want you to go there.
Why don't you and Angie come? Why don't you guys just come? It's official invite.
That's for me. Top like 3 to 4, 3 to 5 breweries I've ever been to.
I can guarantee you'd probably taste like shit then. Sorry, Burial.
No, go there and enjoy it. I want to see you go and here's what you do. You go there.
Let me get a flight of whatever your shit is.
Here's what you do. You go there. You take a picture of the tap list. You let me guide you. You let me be your soothsayer.
You are I'm the Padawan to the Jedi, David.
Exactly. And I will tell you what you will like because they will have beers that you will like there.
Okay.
Guarantee you.
All right. Speaking of beers, why don't you drink?
I've already been drinking, man.
Well, let's
do
a beer review.
What I have drank.
Brought to you by the Original Craft Beer Club. You can check it out in the show notes. Get some free gifts. Get either 12 or 24 craft beers.
That's a lot.
Delivered to you. Yeah. For a weekend.
It's a good deal.
How many have you had today?
12 to 24.
You drunk bastard.
I've either had 12 or I've had 24. Guess.
I'm going to say 24.
So today's beer comes to you special.
Why is it special?
It's a special beer from Cincinnati, Ohio. A long way away from my home. But so the beautiful wife and I love her to death. We went out on Saturday night and she's like, hey, where do you want to go? I'm like, I don't know where I want to go. She's like, let's go to this brewery that we've been to before, but it's also really cool. So we went there. It's in north side of Cincinnati. It's hipster at AF, as the kids say.
Did you wear skinny jeans?
Yes. For me, but I got the big, thick... I'll show you my thighs on Instagram. I got the big, thick thighs.
I'll show you my thighs on Instagram. Shit.
Hey, OnlyFans. I meant OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you need OnlyFans. So my wife basically watches porn on OnlyFans. And Two Beers, One Cave talked about OnlyFans last week. They have
a corporate account.
They talked about, what is it? Baby, you can drive my car or something. Get in the car, whatever. Anyway, my wife went to high school with this Asian chick that is on OnlyFans, and she's shakes her ass on that. So
Just shake
anyway,
your
so
ass,
I feel like
let me
I have
see what you got.
exactly.
That's from Rick and
Anyway,
Morty.
so you know how much I love crowlers. This is a freshly made.
That looks like a can, not a crowler.
Freshly squeezed. So they made this can while I was there. It looks like a regular can, right? At Humble Monk Brewing. So they filled this can up with draft beer, popped the top on, a little rivet, pop rivet, squeeze it around the side.
Bob's
and
your
it's
uncle.
called Bob's Your Uncle. I'm like, I don't have a Bob. That's
You
uncle.
probably do. Somewhere in that
I don't think
family.
so. Somewhere in, I mean, I haven't met most of my uncles, but
I got an Uncle Robert, and I've heard people call him Bobby.
Bobby's your uncle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
true.
so this is a beer that was made fresh for me last night in the Hallows of Humble Monk Brewing, North Side, right across the street from Urban Artifact. It is a English mild, which is a style that I love. Super like malty, low on the hops, low ABV. It's 4.4% ABV, 15 IBUs, so it's not super hoppy. As you can see, it's a dark, like a brown color. Got my Craft Loyal can glass here.
Okay.
Took a big old sip, but it tastes like beer. I mean, it tastes like it's malty.
Tastes like beer.
It's
That's
malty
what you come here
for the insights of amazing. But I will say, huge shout out to Humble Monk for COVID friendly, social distance tap room. Amazing tap room experience. Probably the best tap room experience I've had since COVID. And
since you got COVID.
Since I got COVID, it's the only tap room experience I've had since. No, but just in general, like they're all about just being super friendly, super nice. Like I'm like,
They're trying to sell you stuff, of course. Like
but you'd be surprised how many places are like still like give you like the cold shoulder of like, hey, you know, you're here because of me. Like, no, you're here because of me. Right? I give you my money. I spend a lot of money at breweries and tap rooms and on beer. And I just want my money to go to a good place, into a good home.
Nice people.
Yes. Yeah. And Humble Monk Brewing in Northside, Cincinnati is good people. That's all I'm saying.
So it tastes good?
Yes. It's like malty. Beer. It's dark. It's low hops, which
that's my
Gary
kind of
W.
beer.
Thomas Jr. would love. And yeah, and this is like this. So I'm a weird beer drinker. I either love like if it's got hops, I want all the hops. I want it to like punch me in the face with hops.
God, it's so gross.
But if it's not a hoppy beer, I want it to be malty and smooth and just like a European like style of. So this is a English mild. I just want it to be like, hey,
what's
I could be drinking
English muffin?
Yeah, English muffin. Nice little tart. Nice little scone. This would be good with a scone. This would be good with a egg sandwich. Yeah, but this honestly would be your beer. Like you're drinking bourbon, like me and you are drinking bourbon, and I need a side beer.
That would be
just your have beer. This would be like my light, just basically water for refreshing. This is my like side beer. As you might have already seen from the podcast, as you mostly people see podcasts, they don't hear them. These days they look at us on YouTube as we become more and more popular and famous. As we say, hashtag free Brittany. If you put that in, if you put that in the notes, people will they'll find us.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? But we haven't talked. I don't think we talked about anything we're supposed to talk about today.
No,
we talked about yeah,
Miami's bird.
Yeah, that's all we need to talk about. Talk about bourbon. Hashtag free Britney.
Yeah.
This
So
is a free Britney podcast.
here's something that I know you and some of the fellas up there got into golf towards the latter part of last year.
Yes.
And on golf.com, they talk about how golf is starting to blend well with craft beer, and how that a lot of like craft breweries that will be part of their distribution is to go out to golf courses and throw it out there to try to like further their brand.
There's like a brewery at Pinehurst, which is in North Carolina, which I didn't even know, which is awesome. There's like a brewery on like the grounds of Pinehurst, and apparently the beer, they're like, it doesn't even matter if the beer is good because it's Pinehurst, but the beer is actually good. I don't know, but that's in North Carolina. There's one on the West Coast that's apparently really good.
Yeah, Canyon Lakes Golf Course and Brewery.
The Pinehurst Brewery, the pictures of it look awesome. It's like a brick building. It looks cool. I would like, that's on my list of next time I'm in it. Like Pinehurst is like east of Charlotte, I think, North Carolina. They've had the U.S. Open there a couple times at Pinehurst. But yeah, I need to go there. And Shawnee, which is in, I think in
Southern Ohio. Is that
the brewery? I think is in Shawnee's in North Carolina, and then the other one is Canyon Lakes Golf Course and Brewery in Mount Diablo in Northern California.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Locally brewed Ace, Amber Ale, Green Jacket IPA, or Hoppy Gilmore Triple IPA.
Hoppy Gilmore, I like it.
Did you see the Happy Gilmore and also Shooter McGavin? That was like, that's the heartwarming stuff that I need to see when we're all quarantined. But I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to get out and fucking hit the links.
There you go. Outside. You know what I think goes good with the golf?
Bourbon.
Yes. Our bourbon segment is brought to you by beardoctane.com. Use promo code BeersBeards10. Save 10% off everything. David shaved his beard because he's a girl.
Yeah, girls shave their beards.
I got a new glass. I've been drinking bourbon. I have another glass. This week, I've got a Colorado bourbon, which they talk about how like the process for like the proofing takes 24 to 48 hours. And they do that for like weeks instead of days. And they call it a slow cut. And that's their thing. And this is a blended bourbon. It does not have age on here. But let's give this a look because it's a pretty cool bottle. And I've seen it. Actually, Paul Kidd on Bourbon Notes recommended it last year. And so I pulled the trigger because it's like $50-some a bottle. But at this point, look at this. Like, look, this is just my overflow section of bourbon.
The bottle is awesome.
Yeah, the bottle is awesome. It's heavy, and it's got this big lid.
I think.
And it's got, of course, they've all got a tag. This was the 2018 gold winner in the San Francisco International Spirits Competition. Funny fact, that's how Pappy blew up. Was in that
this is like a bourbon, and we talked about this before, I think, the live show. I see this everywhere, but I'm like,
do you? Like, there was two bottles.
I honestly thought that this was like a Kentucky bourbon that like the normal guys like. I mean, I see it at Kroger all the time. I see it at the liquor stores that I go to. I see it pretty regularly for a bourbon that's from Colorado. It's not from Kentucky.
Same price as Blanton's. And this is 88 proof, 44. This is 750 milliliter bottle. I paid $52 for it. So it's got some shit. It's got something to live up to here. Because I've been legit during these cold spells, drinking Old Fitzgerald like a motherfucker. Legit. Like, I'm out of larceny, so I was like, I'll just go for this Old Fitzgerald. I like it pretty good. Old Fitzgerald's nose is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to sit around and just sniff a bourbon, like Old Fitzgerald's the one to go to. But and I paid $10 for that. As you can see, pretty light on the color, like almost transparent.
I don't know. I think it's a little darker than
than
most. It's still like translucent, but not.
Wow. So there's no oak in the smell, but I don't get all that malt and corn. Like last week we did Bro Brothers. You could really, like, it had that moonshine, starchy corn smell. This does not have that. And I don't know what blended means. Maybe I should have researched that a little more, but I don't want to do a lot of research because I just want to give you the straight. We'll be a straight shooter. We'll be a straight shooter on this bourbon, guys. All right. Nose is super light, like really light. And they talk about how smooth this bourbon is. But it doesn't, we've talked about how it like coats the glass. This does not coat the glass at all. It
doesn't have the legs.
It doesn't have the viscosity. All right.
Interesting.
We're gonna take a little. I might have COVID though. I can't have COVID. I've not been outside in like 13 days. It's got a really light nose. I'm telling you, David. Like, if you smelled this, yeah, it's hardly anything. All right, let's check it out. This is Old Elk, Colorado Distillery. So it's very starchy, but not. It's like if you take that moonshine starchy stuff, it's not. It's it's not too bad. It is smooth. It doesn't have much of a finish at all. Yeah, that's a 2.5 bottles right there.
Uses 4 times more malted barley than conventional recipes in a slow cut #TM proofing process. This creates a rich, smooth flavor in harmony with caramel cues.
Don't get that.
Charred barrels and spicy notes of rye.
I do get the rye.
And I always, I'm curious because for a bourbon that I see this everywhere for like a Colorado bourbon. Are they the biggest Colorado bourbon? I mean, it's everywhere. I see it at most of the places that I go. Old Elk, you can put it in your satchel according to pictures from the website. If you have a satchel, do you have a satchel, Gary?
I don't. Are fanny packs making a comeback?
I think they made their comeback and they're already not cool again.
Like, I'm planning a trip and I'm not sure if I want to get a fanny pack.
You could do, on a trip, you could do a fanny pack. At an amusement park, fanny pack, boom. Your fanny pack.
I didn't say I was going to an amusement park, David.
At a hypothetical amusement park, you could, because you have to be 21 to listen to this, right? Yeah, you have to be 21.
It does have the explicit tag.
Yeah, explicit tag. If you're under 21, stop listening right now, or you'll be in a big amount of trouble.
All right. Something I've harped on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and something that you put into the universe.
What's that?
A kegerator. And you have pulled the trigger. Have you got it yet?
That trigger has been pulled. Pew pew. It's ready to go. Next week, I'm bringing you beer from the kegerator. You're gonna taste it.
All right. So walk me through. You were very specific in what you wanted. Did this fit the $600 price range?
Yeah, it was it was around that range. So kegerator
And it's a
price
double, right? It's a double
Yeah,
tap.
I wanted at least dual faucet, dual two options, and kegerators go from like 300 to 3,000. Like there's no in between. I'm like, I want
Right.
in between. The 300 is like one faucet. The 3,000's like 15. It's like you open up a bar.
Right.
So I'm like, I want the in between. So I bought that. Bought a keg to go with it. Ball lock keg. Boom. And I had to change out the fittings on everything. I had to change out I'm glad that I have like the amount of mechanical prowess that I do, which is a 3 out of 10. Because if I had less than that, I would not. I would still the kegerator would still be in the box,
Right.
and I would be like, I don't know what to do. I would be scared. But everything is set up, ready to go. I watched some YouTube videos on what I needed, and I luckily shout out to Listerman Homebrew Supply. They have everything you need. I went there twice to get what I needed, and they had everything I needed. I needed tools. I needed hardware. I needed everything. Like this was intense amount of setup.
Yeah.
But it's ready to go. I got a winter warmer and my 5-gallon keg. Like ready. It's within a few days of being ready. So when I see you next, Gary,
Right.
I will present you. I will kneel down and present you with bottles of beer from my kegerator.
Well, just bring me one because I probably won't like
it. So this one you probably will like. It's not high on the hops. It's a winter warmer beer, but I like that. So this beer, so the kegerator in general, it's cool because you carbonate the beer with like CO2 versus bottling sugar of basically like table sugar where you're doing. So, but I'm excited to do to have the option of either bottling the beer that I brew, kegging the beer that I brew, and having it fresh out of the tap, putting it in a growler, which is cool. I'm excited to have the option to do whatever I want. Like if I want to get some bottles, do a few bottles for someone that I like, friends, hey, boom, there's some bottles.
Yeah.
Out of my keg.
So next week, the next podcast you hear after this one, we will be doing at Dreaming Creek Brewery in Richmond, Kentucky, correct?
Yes.
They got back to us. Charlie, who spells the name like my daughter, and it could be a girl. I'm not sure. I don't want to judge.
I hope he's not a girl. I hope this dude is not a girl.
But it will be David's 300th brewery.
Yes. I feel like I need to
that's what do you get for
an accomplishment?
Do you get a medal? It's like signing up for one of those 5Ks you do.
See, well, can you see the?
Do we bring them something? Be like, hey, you are number 300. So
there's the medals. See them right there.
Yeah, you paid for all those
from my 5Ks.
Yeah,
all of those are just literally participation trophy medals. But also some of
I went on a rant a long time ago on my podcast with Abby about that's because some people were signing up and they would walk it or they just
no, I haven't walked any of these. I ran them.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But yeah, Dreaming Creek Brewery in Richmond, Kentucky.
And you're excited about that. We've been talking about this for a while. I just saw you and Patrick Fannin were talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah, so I'm excited about having my 300 brewery. They just started canning. They're they're a huge part of the push to be able to self-distribute for beer in Kentucky, which is awesome. I'm excited for that. I think that breweries should be able to self-distribute beer. And then Patrick has an awesome beard. So
true. He does.
Hopefully he will be there. I'm gonna shame him into being there if he doesn't come.
I'm sure he'll be there.
We're gonna try. This is our second attempt at doing a live show.
We're not doing it live. We're just on location recording.
Live-ish show. If this doesn't work, we're gonna fire our production manager. We're gonna hire the people from Better Call Saul.
Two bears, one cave.
Or those guys. They hate those people. Their production.
Nadav.
They're like these people suck. They're like, what's our OnlyFans account? How did we not know if we have an OnlyFans account as a show?
Yeah.
So
one of the things I love, and I went to the gym yesterday and I listened to our Spotify playlist exclusively. And it is so weird. But like I knew that going in. I hit shuffle, and it'd be like, oh, I picked this one. Oh, this is David's. I don't know who picked this one. Like it just kind of floated through. But this week, I'm interested in your selection. But go to Spotify, Beers and Beards playlist, follow it. We're also on Google,
and I think we might be on Amazon
because
I don't know if we're on Amazon, to be honest with you, but we're definitely on Apple Music thanks to our super fan Joe Saunders.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Apple Music.
We're on that, yeah.
All right, so our playlist, David, interesting choice. I've never heard this song, and I'll listen to it after this. But tell me your motivation behind your song.
So the wife and I were listening to Billy Joel last night.
Why?
As you do on a Saturday night. But so we were listening to like old music, and we're like, hey, who do you like from old music? I'm like, I like Billy Joel. And what
Uptown Girl?
Yeah, that's way past the Billy Joel that I like. So it's from 1977, the album. And like, what album could you listen to the whole album? This is Billy Joel, The Stranger. This is the lead song.
Is Piano Man on there?
No, Piano Man is from Piano Man. So he's got Moving Out, Billy Joel, also called Anthony's song, which is my middle name. You didn't know that.
And a lot of people call you Anthony. I don't. I call you Pig.
My mom calls me that.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think you can hear that.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm just jamming. I'm just
Billy Joel, Moving Out, also known as Anthony's song. That's on the playlist.
So anyway, all right.
So Abby introduced my daughter to like some 70s culture-ish stuff, right? So they started off, they watched Almost Famous. And Charlie instantly fell in love with like that time period. And so we were like, oh shit, if you really like that, maybe you should watch Dazed and Confused. So, and I was thinking like, there's no nudity. It's not, they don't cuss a lot, but it's so chock full of like drug culture and just like some weirdness. But one of the songs like that soundtrack is legit.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. I think Dazed and Confused was the first time Matthew McConaughey was ever on camera and said the most iconic line that he can ever say.
All right.
Yeah. It's like, that's why I love high school girls.
Charlie was like, Charlie at 12 is like super woke. She's like, that's inappropriate. That's wrong. That's cringe.
That's a great line. Like that, I think when you get
older, like, they stay the same age.
They stay the same age. Like, I think that's, if you listen to Green Lights, Matthew McConaughey's book, which there's stuff I disagree with him on, and that's why I love Matthew McConaughey, because I feel like he and I could sit across from each other and drink some Wild Turkey 101 or Long Branch.
Yeah.
And he would have his opinion, I would have my opinion, and we would both respect each other and respect that we are different and respect that we are we don't have to be the same. He is Matthew McConaughey and I'm not Matthew McConaughey. That's our fundamental difference. But the biggest difference is that he grew up differently than I did.
Right.
Let's say that. He grew up with a fundamental, like, I don't know, he's more right-wing conservative than I am.
Like the difference between us.
Yes. But he so but also he and I could
He's from Texas, right?
yeah. He's from Texas. I'm not from Texas. That's our
Hook 'em
fundamental
horns.
difference.
Yeah.
But also I love him and respect him, and I love that he's quintessential American just as much as I'm quintessential American. I am
Right.
the amazing American story of a guy who grew up in
Started from
Ohio.
the bottom, now we here.
Yeah, exactly.
Started from the bottom.
He has some amazing stories that make him quintessentially who he is, and so do I. But I love that he is genuine. He is exactly who he is. He doesn't make any excuses for who he is and what he is. And that's what I love about him. He's genuine for Matthew he is
He's the man.
pure. Yeah, he's
that to say, my song this week
is
from Leonard Skinner, Tuesday's Gone,
which is an amazing song. I feel like it's kind of been dragged through the mud a little bit.
Why? Because of Leonard Skinner?
No, Leonard Skinner's awesome. I'm a person Americana. I know I love
Sweet Home Alabama. Yes. Give Me 2 Steps.
Yeah.
Freebird.
Leonard Skinner's awesome.
Do you think National Barks could do Freebird for us?
That would be awesome. I think we
just a 3-piece band.
When they do their show, I'm gonna yell out Freebird and see if they do it. And they were practicing today. I heard they were practicing today. I heard them from the street over. They're ready to go. So I think they're amped up. They're ready. As soon as live music happens again, they're gonna be on it.
Well, there you go. That is our selections for the Spotify playlist. This week, I drank Old Elk, a Colorado brewery. David had Humble Monks. Bob's your uncle.
Yes. Shout out to Humble Monk.
That's the third time or fourth that you said shout out to Humble Monk.
I'm shouting them out 4 times. If that's 4 shout outs.
Put them on Instagram.
No, but seriously, a legit small brewery.
Super nice people.
So they canned this beer for me as I was waiting.
Is your name on it?
Put the sticker on the can.
That's crazy that they can do that.
I love living in the future, man.
I just found this on my desk.
That's crack it open. Is it fresh?
It's cold.
Is that from our appearance on
Ginger and the Beard? Yeah.
We need to have them on our show because their show was way more organized than our show. We just start our show and we're whatever.
We just go. We got some.
We have segments. Yeah. Next segment. What's up? What you drinking?
Yeah.
I've been drinking
Tech
all
talk,
day.
gaming,
tech talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are a free for all.
Yeah.
We are a free for all. They got the glow keyboards. If you look at them on Instagram.
Did you watch their Instagram where they took all the mechanical, they have mechanical keyboards? They took all the keys off and redid them and all that.
They put them in a different order.
They didn't put them in different order. They just changed colors and shit.
I did not watch that, but I will.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's a wrap on episode 42. Don't forget, Beard Octane save 10%, Beers and Beards 10 at checkout. The original craft beer club. Also, if you got an Alexa for Christmas, you got one for your birthday or whatever, you gotta have Amazon Music. You gotta pay for it. Let's get you in the door with a free trial. Try AmazonMusic.com/beers and beards. And next week we will be at Dreaming Creek Brewery.
No bourbon, maybe not on next week's show. I don't think they have bourbon there, right? Unless you're bringing your own, a flask. I
have to bring a flask.
Maybe no bourbon on next week's show.
We'll have to see if they're okay with me bringing a bourbon in.
They'll be.
I mean,
You're not gonna.
they're not gonna say nothing.
You gonna
They know. They know who we are. I don't know. You're all froze up on my screen.
froze? You were froze up on my screen.
Oh, all right. If you made it this far, we love you. We thank you for tuning in. Give us a share if you enjoy the content
On the YouTube.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube, all of our social medias. Until next Monday, David downed his beer.
Did it.
We out.
Later.